let's say you're looking at getting a camera for cheap and are willing to buy used. This begs the question, is the Canon T3i worth getting in 2019? Well, I'll let you know what I think coming up. What's up guys, my name is Ryan, taking you along my journey to be a filmmaker. I originally got the Canon T3i back in the summer of 2013 as a gift from my grandmother. It's been my go-to camera for various things, including shooting some BTS photos for a short film I helped out on called The Second Life. But it's 2019 and I'm starting to build a business as a videographer and as a filmmaker. So the question is, for gigs where I can get away with needing only one camera, does the T3i still hold up? And would it be the camera I'd recommend for someone if they were just starting out and only had a few $100s to spend on a camera body? Well, let's take a look at some B-roll and I'll give you my opinion. Oh, and before I forget, there are going to be links in the description if you're interested in getting anything. They are going to be affiliate links. So if you decide to use them and get something, I'll get a small kickback at no additional cost to you. Sky, look over here. When I was shooting this B-roll, admittingly, I was kind of amazed by two things. One, the amount of practice I still need to do with a Steadicam. And two, how well the image quality actually held up. Granted, it's not going to be as amazing as an actual cinema camera, but it gets the job done. Kind of goes to show you what can happen if you use great lights and lenses, huh? In fact, I actually witnessed a friend of mine actually shoot the feature film on a T3i and it looks amazing.
Get the bed.
No.
Get the bed!
Especially since most of the glass was used was either my Canon 50mm 1.4 or an 18 to 55mm kit lens. Also used a vintage 135, but only for like a few shots. And now there's also a few downsides to this camera I feel like I should mention. The images may look great in the B-roll, but all of it was shot at its lowest ISO of 100. Image will be fairly usable at lower ISOs like 1 to 400. This video, in fact, is actually shot at ISO of 200, but I would not recommend pushing it further than that. The bitrate on this camera is also pretty low, so it'd be a good idea to capture your look in camera, because if you try to do any heavy color grading on it, the image is going to fall apart. But it can be a good thing, so like a 128GB SD card like I got in my T3i right now, it should theoretically last you all day. Also, the camera's internal mic is decent for scratch audio, but that's the only thing I would use it for. I'm a firm believer that you should use external audio when it comes to recording your sound whenever possible, and it's pretty cheap these days to be able to do so. And now there is also that question about Magic Lantern, and honestly, I don't use it. Not anymore. Because I had this one bad experience with it, I thought it actually killed my camera. So, never again. But there's also one other question I think we need to be asking, because this is a pretty solid camera, but is it still a good value anymore? I mean, yeah, if you can get it for like under $300 and with some extras like additional batteries or a lens. Here's the thing, the Canon T2i and the T4i are also around a similar price point, with the T2i being more common under $200 and the T4i also being around like $250 to $280, but it also has autofocus capabilities if that's something you need. I wouldn't know if it's any good or not. I've never used the Canon T4i. I did try out the T6i once, and the autofocus was pretty slow on that one. There's also cameras that are like around the $400 or $500 price range that have more if you really need it, like the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. You can find it for around $500 and that thing shoots RAW. And there's also the Panasonic G7, again, $400 to $500, that can shoot in 4K. Plus, depending on what smartphone you have, you could be able to just buy Filmic Pro and go with that. And the Filmic Pro is only going to be like $15. With an additional 15 if you decide to get the cinematographer kit, which I did. Honestly, I thought that was a worthwhile investment. So at the end of the day, it's hard for me to say with full confidence that the Canon T3i is a worthwhile investment. But before you buy any camera, there's one thing you really do need to ask yourself. What are you going to be using it for primarily? I mean, I wanted this T3i years ago based on recommendations I got from filmmakers I looked up to. And while I haven't used much of the photo side of it, so I think for my next camera, I'll definitely be looking at something that's more video oriented. But now, if you excuse me, I've got some gigs that I need to prepare for, and I think I'll definitely be taking this little fellow with me. My name is Ryan, and I'm out.